I grip my water glass too tightly as Mom slides the thick cream envelope across the dining table. The Matthews family crest is embossed in gold on the front, because heaven forbid my sister have a birthday invitation without a custom wax seal. Aren't they gorgeous? Mom beams, watching Bianca distribute the envelopes around the table. The calligrapher said it was the most elegant design she'd worked on all season. Dad clears his throat, chest puffing with pride. I secured the grand ballroom at the country club. Had to call in a favor with Jim Harrison, but for my princess turning 30, nothing but the best. Bianca squeals, flipping her perfect blonde hair over one shoulder. I've already got 150 people confirmed, and that's before sending these out. The Wilsons' daughter had 120 at her 30th, and everyone said it was the event of the year. She smirks. Until mine. I take a sip of water, letting the ice clink against my teeth. 10 years of these conversations. 10 years of watching Bianca's birthday turn into a national holiday while mine passes with a grocery store cake if I'm lucky. Mom turns to me, sliding a thick manila folder across the table, with her French manicured nails. A platinum credit card sits on top. We need you to handle everything again this year, dear. You're so good with details. The way she says it like she's bestowing a great honor instead of unpaid labor. I stare at the folder. Inside are magazine clippings, Pinterest printouts, and vendor contacts. The same folder I've received since I was 16, each year growing thicker with demands. Make sure they have that champagne fountain like the Wilsons had. Bianca interrupts, not bothering to look up from her phone. But bigger, and with the good champagne, not that cheap stuff. Dad taps the credit card. And put down the deposits with this. We'll reimburse you. Eventually. He chuckles like it's a joke we both enjoy. My fingers close around the folder. They're trembling, but no one notices. No one ever notices. I see myself at 17, canceling my sleepover to address Bianca's 21st birthday invitations. I see myself at 21, missing my own dinner reservation because Bianca's DJ canceled last minute and someone needed to find a replacement. I see myself at 24, watching my bank account drain as I covered the $4,000 flower bill that Dad promised to pay back next week. Still waiting on that reimbursement. I see my own birthdays exactly 2 weeks after Bianca's passing, in a blur of leftover decorations and distracted well wishes. We're all partied out. Mom always says, let's just do something small. Small means forgotten. Small means an afterthought text message at 9 p.m. Small means nothing at all. Kendall? Did you hear me? Mom waves her hand in front of my face. I said we need the deposits placed by Friday. Yes, I say automatically. I heard you. Later that day, in my apartment, I spread the contents of the folder across my kitchen counter. The theme is glitz and glamour because old Hollywood was too basic, according to Bianca's latest text. The budget started at $4,000 and has somehow ballooned to $6,000. My laptop sits open to my bank account. $3,207.42. My entire savings, built dollar by dollar from my administrative assistant salary. I've never celebrated a birthday properly. Not once in 26 years. My phone buzzes. Rachel, did they rope you into party planning again? My fingers hover over the keyboard. Something shifts inside me, like tectonic plates that have been grinding against each other for years, finally breaking free. Not this time. I have a different plan. I close Bianca's folder and open my laptop to a new tab. Florida Beach Rentals. Another tab. Flight prices to Destin. Another. Swimming with Dolphins experience. My phone rings again. Bianca's face flashes on the screen, the professional headshot she made everyone use as her contact photo. I silence it and turn the phone face down. I create a new folder on my desktop labeled My Birthday. Inside, I save screenshots of beachfront houses with wide decks and ocean views, places where I could watch the sunrise with a mimosa in hand. Places where no one would ask me to make a single phone call or place a single deposit. My phone lights up again. And again. And again. I ignore it as I click Book Now on a blue bungalow with floor-to-ceiling windows and 5-star reviews. 2 weeks in paradise, spanning my 26th birthday. For the first time in years, I smile at the thought of a birthday, my birthday, and I feel something unfamiliar bloom in my chest as I enter my credit card information. It's not guilt. It's not fear. It's freedom. The next day, at the office, my phone buzzes for the 12th time this morning. I know it's either Mom or Bianca without looking. The constant vibration against my desk has become so distracting that Janet from accounting has started giving me sympathetic glances over her cubicle wall. "Kendall, your phone's having a seizure again." My boss Mark comments as he passes my desk. He pauses, noticing my tight expression. "Family stuff again?" I nod, flipping the phone over to see 15 new text messages. Mom wants to increase the head count to 175. Bianca has changed her mind on the theme from glitz and glamour to diamond elegance, whatever that means. Sorry, I'll put it on silent. I slide the phone into my drawer, but Mark's hand on my shoulder stops me. "Take 10 minutes, if you need to sort it out. Your quarterly reports are always early anyway." The moment he walks away, my phone lights up with Mom's face. I step into the break room and answer. "Kendall, darling, I've been texting you all morning," Mom says without preamble. "I need you to call the caterer immediately. We're adding 25 more guests, and Bianca wants those little lobster puffs she had at the Johnsons' anniversary." "Mom, we've already signed contracts. Adding 25 people will cost." "Money isn't the issue, dear. This is Bianca's special day." The kitchen door swings open, and Janet enters, then quickly backs out when she sees my face. I lower my voice. "The budget was already at 6,000. Who's covering the extra costs?" "Well, you can put it on that card we gave you. Your father will settle everything after." "Like last time?" The words slip out before I can stop them. Kendall Elizabeth Matthews. I don't appreciate that tone. "Oh. I almost forgot to tell you I'll be stopping by your office around lunch. I have some fabric swatches for the table linens." Before I can protest, she hangs up. I grip the edge of the counter, breathing slowly through my nose. I checked my bank account on my phone after I booked the birthday vacation. The amount that won't increase until payday next week. After the lunch break, and meeting with my mother, as she came by the office, when I returned to my desk, a wave of heat flushed up my neck. I slip away to the restroom, locking myself in a stall as my hands shake. That night, at home, I pull out old family photo albums from my closet. Page after page of Bianca's elaborate celebrations, her sweet 16 with a rented ballroom, her 21st with a hired band, her 25th with a weekend getaway for her and 20 friends. I flip through my childhood journal, the entries becoming a painful pattern. The 18th of April, STU, 2015. My 16th birthday today. Family went to Bianca's volleyball tournament. Mom said we'd celebrate next weekend but forgot. The 18th of April, 2016. No one remembered again. Dad gave me $20 when I mentioned it at dinner. The 18th of April, 2017. Rachel brought cupcakes to school. At least someone remembered. I slam the journal shut and reach for my phone, texting Rachel. "Remember that Florida trip we talked about? I have booked it for my birthday. For real this time. I've had enough." Her response comes immediately. "Finally! It's about time you did something for yourself. I'm in." For the first time in days, I smile. 2 hours and half a bottle of wine later, Rachel sits cross-legged on my living room floor, laptop balanced on her knees. "So you're really going to do this?" She gestures at my screen where the Blue Beach bungalow reservation confirmation glows. "Just disappear for your birthday and let Bianca's party crash and burn?" I nod, pulling up fake vendor contracts I've been creating all evening. I've already sent emails to my parents confirming everything's on track. They trust me completely to handle it all. God, they have no idea who they're dealing with. Rachel lifts her wine glass in a toast to the real birthday girl. The next morning at work, Michael from accounting leans against my cubicle. "Got a minute?" I follow him to the break room where he pulls out his phone. "So I heard about your Florida plan from Rachel. I have these airline miles that are about to expire. How about a first-class upgrade for the birthday girl?" Unexpected tears prick my eyes. "Michael, you don't have to." "Oh please, it's either you or my mother and she'd just complain about the champagne selection." He shows me the confirmation on his screen. Already done. That night at home, my phone buzzed with a text from Aunt Susan. "Heard you're finally doing something for your birthday. Whatever you're planning, I support you 100%. Let me know if you need anything." An hour later, Rachel, Michael, and Lisa sent me their tickets. We are all going together. The contrast between these genuine connections and my family's exploitation feels like stepping from shadow into sunlight. Friday evening. At my parents' house, I spread the fake vendor contracts across my parents' dining table, catering, decorations, entertainment, all with convincing letterheads and deposit confirmations. "We trust you completely, dear," Mom says, not bothering to look at a single page. She slides an envelope across the table. "Here's the deposit money. 2,800 should cover everything, right?" Dad nods absent-mindedly, eyes on his phone. Bianca's upset about the color scheme again. She wants silver instead of gold now. "I'll handle it," I say automatically, the phrase I've uttered thousands of times before. But this time, the words taste different on my tongue. On Monday, 3 days later, I deposited the check into my account. The teller smiles. "Saving up for something special?" I think of the ocean view from my rented bungalow, the dolphin excursion booked for my actual birthday, the first-class plane ticket waiting in my email. "Yes," I answer, feeling the unfamiliar curve of a genuine smile. Something very special, just for me. During a family dinner, or rather another ambush on Saturday that week, the dining room feels smaller than usual, like the walls are inching closer with each minute of this emergency family meeting. 2 weeks before Bianca's birthday, and we're all summoned as if discussing national security. These decorations are completely inadequate. Bianca slams her palm on a catalog page. "This is the most important day of my life. The centerpieces need to be at least twice this size." Mom nods sympathetically while Dad checks his watch. I sit quietly, making notes in my planner, while mentally confirming my flight and booking details. "We'll need to increase the budget again," Dad says, pulling out his checkbook. His eyes flick to me. "Kendall, confront the difference until we get to the bank next week." I nod, the motion automatic after years of practice. My savings account has already recovered from booking my Florida trip, thanks to my salary, and a forgotten Christmas bonus I'd stashed away. "Oh," Dad says, pausing mid-signature like he's just remembered something trivial. "Isn't your birthday sometime next month too?" Before I can answer, Mom pats my hand. "We can do pizza at our house for you after Bianca's celebration dies down. Nothing fancy, but still nice." The old Kendall would have smiled gratefully. This Kendall just writes, "pizza," in all caps in her planner, and underlines it 3 times. "Thanks, Mom. That sounds perfect." The next morning, although it's Sunday, I email my boss requesting personal days, my first vacation in 2 years. "Family emergency," I write, which isn't entirely untrue. My emergency need to escape my family qualifies. On Wednesday, before the birthday party, I pack at night, when I'm sure no one will drop by unannounced. Each item feels like a small rebellion: my brightest sundress, the swimsuit I bought 3 summers ago but never wore, sunglasses too bold for practical Kendall. When Bianca texts demanding I find gold-dipped orchids for the tables, I wait 40 minutes before responding. When Mom calls about changing the menu again, I let it go to voicemail until my lunch break. Small rebellions, but they make me stand taller. The final payment for the dolphin swimming excursion hits my credit card on Thursday, scheduled perfectly for my actual birthday. I trace my finger over the confirmation email, something warm spreading through my chest. Mine. For me, finally. That night, my phone rings at 9:47 p.m. Dad's voice booms through the speaker before I can even say hello. "Emergency family meeting, now. Bianca's having a crisis." I arrive to find Bianca pacing the living room, mascara streaking down her cheeks. 15 more people RSVP'd, yes, today. 15. Where will they sit? What will they eat? The seating chart is ruined. Mom rushes to her side with tissues while Dad turns to me, expectation heavy in his gaze. "This is what you do best, dear," Mom says. "Fix it." 3 faces stare at me. Bianca's desperate. Mom's pleading. Dad's demanding. The old Kendall would have already grabbed her laptop, already started calling vendors, already solving the problem. I take a deep breath and meet their eyes one by one. "Everything is under control. Trust me." The words hang in the room. To them, I'm promising to handle Bianca's crisis. To me, I'm confirming my escape is perfectly planned. Dad's shoulders relax. "I knew we could count on you." If only they knew. At dawn, the following day, the alarm buzzed at 3:30 a.m., but I was not sleeping. Rachel's text comes exactly 5 minutes later. Outside. Engine off. No lights. I wheel my suitcase silently down the hallway, locking my apartment door behind me. Rachel hugs me before taking my bag. "Operation Birthday Girl is officially underway," she whispers, her grin visible even in the dark. The drive to the airport feels like crossing a border into a new country, one where I matter. Rachel hands me a travel mug of coffee and a birthday card signed by everyone in on the plan. At check-in, the attendant smiles. "You've been upgraded to first class, Miss Matthews." I turn to Rachel and squeeze her hand. She smiles and nods back. Aunt Susan's text arrives as I wait to board. "Package delivered to rental house. Happy early birthday, sweetheart. So proud of you." The group chat with my friends buzzes with excitement. Weather forecast. Perfect. Dinner reservations confirmed. Cake ordered your favorite. When my row is called, I stand tall, boarding pass firm in my hand. As the plane doors close, I switch my phone to airplane mode, the notification count of missed calls from my family disappearing. Relief washes over me like cool water. Later that day, I step into sunshine so bright it makes me squint with Rachel. The rental car takes me along coastal roads until I pull up to a pale blue house with wide windows facing the ocean. As my friends also came with me, Rachel, Michael, and my college roommate Lisa are now on the porch, holding a banner that reads, "Happy Birthday, Kendall." The sight of it, my name in bright letters, makes my throat tight. Inside, tasteful decorations catch the sunlight. Nothing like the gaudy, excessive preparations for Bianca. Just simple, beautiful touches that show someone thought about what I would like. Rachel hands me a champagne flute. "To Kendall," she says, raising her glass, finally celebrating the birthday girl who deserves it. We clink glasses, and I look around at these people who traveled here just for me, who took days off work, who spent their money and time to make me feel special. "I need to change my voicemail," I say suddenly, pulling out my phone. They watch as I record. "Hi, you've reached Kendall. I'm unavailable until further notice. Please leave a message." Unavailable. The word tastes like freedom. That evening, I walk alone on the beach as the sun sinks toward the horizon. The water rushes over my feet, then retreats, again and again. Like the years I've spent giving and retreating, giving and retreating. For the first time, I let myself feel the pain of being overlooked. Tears come hot and fast, drops of salt water joining the vast ocean before me. Footsteps approach from behind. My friends surround me, Rachel holding a chocolate cupcake with a single candle flickering in the breeze, an early celebration. "Make a wish," Lisa says softly. I close my eyes. I wish to never disappear again. The candle goes out. I open my eyes to find them all smiling at me. "I think this is the first time I've felt special on my birthday," I whisper. Michael pulls out his phone for a group selfie, the sunset painting us in gold. "Caption?" he asks, thumb hovering over the screen. I smile, feeling lighter than I have in years. Best birthday I've never had. On Bianca's birthday that Saturday, the grand ballroom of Westlake Country Club stands empty at 6:15 p.m. No twinkling fairy lights, no champagne fountain, no centerpieces with fresh roses. Just bare tables and undecorated walls. The venue manager glances at his watch, shrugging at the waitstaff who hover near the kitchen doors. At 6:27, the first guests arrive in cocktail attire. They wander through the unlocked doors, voices echoing in the cavernous space. "Is this the Matthews party?" A woman in a sequined gown asks the confused server. "No setup has been scheduled for today," he replies, checking his clipboard. "We have nothing on the calendar." By 6:45, the parking lot fills with luxury cars and confused attendees. Small clusters form as guests check their invitations, confirming the date and time. At exactly 7 o'clock, Bianca makes her entrance through the double doors. Her custom-made gold gown catches the fluorescent overhead lights as her expression transforms from regal anticipation to horror. "Where is everything?" Her voice rises sharply. "Where are the decorations? The bar? The DJ?" She spins toward our parents, who stand frozen just inside the doorway. Mom fumbles for her phone, frantically dialing the venue manager's number. "There must be some mistake," she says, voice trembling as the manager approaches. "We booked weeks ago. My daughter handled all the arrangements." "I'm sorry, Mrs. Matthews," he says, reviewing his tablet. "We have no record of any reservation for tonight. Nothing has been booked, and no deposits were placed. .com. Dad steps forward, reaching for his wallet. "There's been a misunderstanding. I can pay now whatever premium necessary." The manager's expression remains professionally sympathetic. "Sir, we're fully booked tomorrow with a wedding." We have no staff scheduled tonight, no catering prepared, and the decorating crew isn't here. There's nothing available. As in it, mind Dio. Outside in the parking lot, Bianca screams into her phone. Kendall, answer your damn phone. What have you done? Her mascara runs in black rivulets down her flushed cheeks. She stabs at the screen again and again, each call going straight to voicemail. Mom paces between confused guests, phone pressed against her ear. Kendall, this is your mother. Call me immediately. Your sister's party is. There's been some kind of, just call me back. Her voice cracks as she hangs up and immediately redials. Maybe she had an accident. Dad suggests, loosening his tie as sweat beads on his forehead. Should we call the hospitals? I posted the invitations on my story last week, Bianca wails as friends awkwardly pat her shoulder. Everyone will know my birthday was ruined. Mom gathers herself, addressing the growing crowd. We're moving the celebration to our home. Please follow us there. But guests are already drifting toward their cars, making excuses about babysitters and early morning commitments. By 8:30, Bianca sits on our parents' couch scrolling through her phone, sobbing afresh. Marissa already posted about the birthday disaster. It's all over Instagram. During that time, in Florida, I stretch out on a massage table as gentle hands work the knots from my shoulders. Ocean waves provide the soundtrack through open windows, and I haven't touched my phone in hours. Best birthday gift ever, I murmur as the masseuse works on a particularly tight spot between my shoulder blades. In the beach house kitchen, Rachel screens my messages, fielding the 20th call from my mother. Still, no answer. She tells Michael and Jen, who arrange a birthday breakfast tray with fresh fruit and mimosas. Should we show her any of these? Michael asks, holding up my phone as it buzzes again. Rachel shakes her head. Not yet. This vacation is for her only. Days later, when my actual birthday comes, at sunrise with my friends, I pose with my mimosa against the brilliant orange sky, salt spray in my hair and genuine joy on my face. Rachel captures the moment perfectly. Caption? She asks, showing me the photo. I think for a moment. 26 years later, finally celebrating ME. Hashtag my birthday my way. Within an hour, notifications flood my account. Coworkers, high school friends, and distant relatives leave comments. You go, girl. About time. Wait, isn't this when your sister's big party was supposed to be? Looking happier than I've ever seen you. Aunt Susan's comment appears prominently. So proud of you for finally putting yourself first, sweetheart. Happy birthday. Later that day, after we swam with dolphins, I switched to Bianca's profile to find a stream of sympathetic messages beneath her tearful selfie, captioned, "Worst birthday ever." Her responses reveal the truth. My selfish sister abandoned her responsibilities, and she deliberately sabotaged everything after we trusted her. By evening, I check my phone again. The notification banner shows 60 missed calls, 120 text messages, and countless social media alerts. My friends watch nervously as I scroll through the first few vicious texts from my family. Ready for birthday cake? Jen asks, sliding a small chocolate cake toward me with a single glowing candle. Michael snaps the photo, me smiling behind the flickering light, ocean sunset in the background. Caption for this one? Rachel asks. I look at the image, at the genuine happiness in my eyes. Just worth the wait. As I post it, a message notification pops up from Kelly, a girl I haven't spoken to since high school. I always wondered why your family treated you differently. Good for you, Kendall. I turn off my phone and slide it into a drawer. Let's go swimming, I suggest, rising from the table. The weight of decades lifts from my shoulders as we race toward the moonlit waves. Whatever storm awaits me back home can wait. Tonight belongs to me. The day I returned from my birthday trip, my phone buzzed to life as the plane touched down, notifications flooding in like a digital tsunami. 3 voicemails from Dad, 7 texts from Mom, and an email from Bianca with a subject line in all caps. I take a deep breath before listening to the first message. You've destroyed this family. Dad's voice trembles with rage. Come home immediately to fix this. Mom's text cuts deeper. How could you embarrass us like this? Everyone is talking. The email from Bianca contains a paragraph of accusations ending with, "You ruined the most important day of my life. I'll never forgive you." 3. Only Aunt Susan's message offers any comfort. They're planning an ambush when you get home. Stay strong, sweetheart. You did what you needed to do. In the airport bathroom, I stare at my reflection, while Rachel's voice plays through my speakerphone. Remember why you did this. You deserve to be celebrated too. I matter too, I whisper to the mirror, shoulders squared. No more invisible daughter. I practice the words again, louder this time. An older woman at the sink beside me nods approvingly. An hour later, my Uber driver glances at me in the rearview mirror as we approach my apartment building. Whatever you're heading into, you look ready for it. I clutch my beach tote tighter. I hope so. The key turns in my lock, but the door opens before I can push it. They're already inside. Mom sits ramrod straight on my sofa. Dad paces by the window, and Bianca occupies my reading chair, eyes puffy and mascara smudged. How could you be so selfish and childish? Mom launches her attack before I've fully entered. Her voice pitches higher with each word. Dad stops pacing, hands shoved deep in his pockets. We raised you better than this, Kendall. You've always been jealous of me. Bianca's voice breaks on a theatrical sob. I set my bag down slowly, deliberately closing the door behind me. They expect me to crumple, to apologize, to beg forgiveness. I remain standing while they sit. I've been planning my sister's birthdays since I was 15. I begin, my voice steadier than I expected. I've canceled my own plans, used my savings, and spent countless hours making sure Bianca's special days were perfect. Mom opens her mouth, but I hold up my hand. I'm not finished. The words come out sharper than I intended. I pull out my phone and open my calendar app. Here are the last 11 years of our birthdays. See these highlighted dates? Those are Bianca's celebrations. Notice anything about the dates 2 weeks later? My birthdays? I turn the screen toward them. No highlights. No events. Nothing. Dad shifts uncomfortably. That's hardly the point. I've never had a birthday party. My voice doesn't waver. Not once in 26 years. This vacation with my friends was the first time anyone has ever celebrated with me. I pull out a folder organized, just like the one they've handed me for years. Here's a list of expenses I've covered for Bianca's parties. $6,000 in the last 3 years alone. Money I was promised would be reimbursed. The silence stretches between us, thick and uncomfortable. Birthdays aren't important at your age anyway, Mom finally says, waving her hand dismissively. Dad's face hardens. After all we've done for you, this is how you repay us? By humiliating your sister in front of everyone we know? You've always been the boring one, Bianca sniffs. Who would even come to your party? Their words hang in the air, revealing the truth I've always suspected but never wanted to believe. I feel something inside me snap clean, like a rubber band stretched beyond its limit. I spent my birthday with people who actually celebrate me, I say quietly. People who see me as more than just Bianca's backup plan. Mom blinks rapidly, surprised by my calm defiance. Dad's mouth opens and closes without sound. I need my apartment key back. I hold out my hand to Mom, who fumbles in her purse, suddenly unsure. From now on, my birthday will be acknowledged just like Bianca's. I keep my voice even as the key drops into my palm. Either we rebuild this relationship with mutual respect, or we don't have one at all. You can't be serious, Dad sputters. After everything. I am completely serious. I move toward the door and open it wide. I think you should leave now. They rise slowly, disbelief etched across their faces. Mom pauses in the doorway. We should discuss this when you're thinking more clearly. I've never thought more clearly in my life. I meet her gaze without flinching. One by one, they file out. Bianca throws a final glare over her shoulder. I close the door firmly behind them and slide the deadbolt into place. In the sudden quiet of my apartment, I press my back against the door and slide down until I'm sitting on the floor. My hands tremble as the adrenaline ebbs, but for the first time in years, the trembling doesn't feel like weakness. It feels like freedom. A year later, during my birthday party, the doorbell chimes as I adjust the string of twinkling lights draped across my living room. My apartment, once a utilitarian space, now bursts with colors. I've chosen vibrant yellows and coral accents that would have terrified the old Kendall. I smooth my hand over the new haircut. I finally had the courage to try shorter, with caramel highlights framing my face. Birthday girl! Rachel swoops in with a homemade cake, followed by Michael and 3 other friends. Behind them stands Aunt Susan, clutching a wrapped package tied with a satin ribbon. Look at you. Aunt Susan says, giving me a proper once-over, standing tall, taking up space. I catch a glimpse of myself in the hallway mirror. She's right. My shoulders no longer curve inward. My smile reaches my eyes. What a difference a year makes. Rachel raises her glass, champagne catching the light. To the year Kendall found her voice, and to many more birthdays celebrated exactly as they should be. The glasses clink together in my small but tastefully decorated apartment. Pictures from Florida hang prominently on the wall, tangible proof of the moment everything changed. My therapist would call this progress. I say with a laugh that comes easily now, Doctor. Whitman helped me understand that one act of self-respect could ripple through every aspect of my life. Since standing up to my family, I've earned a promotion at work, asked for a raise, started dating again. Your mom called me yesterday, Aunt Susan says quietly, as the others chat across the room. She wanted to make sure I'd be here. The birthday card from Mom arrived 3 days ago, on time, with a handwritten note that said simply, thinking of you. Baby steps. Dad still struggles with our new dynamic. Last month he asked when I'd get over this phase. Bianca surprised me though. After 6 months of silence, she texted, do you want to get coffee sometime? We're rebuilding on new terms. Slowly. Present time, Michael announces, piling colorfully wrapped packages on the coffee table. I unwrap each thoughtful gift books I've mentioned wanting to read. A delicate bracelet. A concert tickets. Aunt Susan hands me her package last. Inside lies a silver frame holding a faded photograph of 4-year-old me blowing out candles on a small cake. I took this before your parents decided. Bianca's celebrations should take precedence, she explains. A note tucked behind the photo reads, there was always someone who saw you. Never forget your worth. My throat tightens. I blink rapidly as I place the frame next to my Florida photos. What do you want for your next birthday? Rachel asks, refilling my glass. Just this, I answer. Presence over presence. Yesterday at work I noticed Jessica, the new hire, apologizing constantly during meetings. I invited her to lunch and shared my story. You're allowed to have opinions, I told her. You're allowed to take up space. In my nightstand drawer lies my journal entry from last week, the year I stopped disappearing. Later, after candles and cake and laughter, I stand alone on my small balcony. The Florida photos hang visibly through the window. On my refrigerator calendar, 2 birthdays are marked with equal prominence, mine and Bianca's. My phone rings. It's Mom, probably calling about the family dinner next weekend. Kendall, can you help with the decorations for your father's retirement party? You're so good with those details. I take a deep breath. No, I can't help with that. I have my own plans that day. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give yourself is the permission to matter.